Hello there, welcome back to the channel. So, time for a van tour and for me to explain the way that I built this Peugeot Boxer L3 H2. One of the things that we needed was, or the main criteria I guess, was for it to be able to accommodate 4 people, 2 adults, 2 kids, 4 belted seats, to be able to sleep 4 people, and really I wanted 2 double beds ideally. And so, as you will know, as you may be able to spot now, we've got a driver's seat and a twin passenger seat. Would have loved to have a single, but that would have made getting 2 extra seats in the back even more difficult. So we got 3 belted seats in the front, and I've managed to get 2 double beds as well. So finally, I'm going to give you this van tour, and then hopefully it will be of some use. I've not seen it done the way that I've done it before. I mean, it may have been done before and I might just not have seen it, so I haven't invented anything, but I kind of thought this up myself. But obviously someone else may well have had the same idea, so I'm not claiming it as my own. But if it's something that you like the look of, then feel free to, you know, message me down below, comment down below, and I'll be whatever help I can. But I stuck to my guns with what we wanted, and the van that I've built is the van that's for us. It works for us. It won't suit everybody, but if you're looking for something similar, then I hope this van tour is of some use. I will take you through all the things that I've done. Let's go in the back and have a look. So this is it. This is what we've got. We have, and it's, you know, it's quite simple. The great windows, by the way. I think they're called the Adventurer windows. I got them from Jackson's Leisure. They're fabulous. I'll start with these because they're just great. They open, obviously. If you open all these, they open out. They're plastic. They're double glazed, but they come with the fly screen, and they come with the blind as well, which is fabulous. And I think they look quite smart. The stage that we're at with the van right now, by the way, I've got a wooden trim that's going to go all around these, but we haven't yet decided whether we're leaving this white or whether we're going to paint it a colour. So that's why this bit's not finished yet, but obviously it's easier to paint this first and then paint the trim and then put the trim on. So that's why that's not finished, just to explain. But anyway, great windows they are. They're really good, and like I said, they open out as well. They're like a motorhome style window. Beds, I've got this bed across the back. That's a full width, full size double. I cladded this and went into the alcoves here. So it means it's insulated, works brilliantly in the winter. We've been away in it quite a bit, as I've said a couple of times. It works fabulously, but it means I'm 6'5", so accommodating me is quite tricky. But by the time we've recessed both sides in the way that we have, it means that that's a full size double, not a small double, a full size double mattress, full width, 135 centimeters wide. So anyway, we got that in. That was great. Thrilled with that. Kitchen wise, I made this. In fact, if I take you back out here for a second, I had some of this left over from a Volkswagen that I built, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to use it because it's quite nice. So it's just made out of plywood, butcher's block top on it. This bit pops up, as all campers seem to these days, but it works really nice, and it kept everything really kind of tidy, and so that was quite good. Sink wise, went with one of these, thought about it, didn't know what to go for. I've had campers in the past where I've had the 2 burner, the sink, and then 2 gas burners. Because I didn't want gas, I wasn't sure what to do. So this is a Thetford sink, and it's quite nice. This opens up, and the beauty of this for us is when you put that down, you actually it feels like you've got, same with the hob as well, it feels like you've got more worktop, you've got more space, you can put a plate on there and it won't bother anything. So we went with that, and we went with one of these, which I think pretty much everybody seems to have these days. And genuinely the idea with that was that if the kids came back and they were outside, and we could hose them down, which, you know, is it made perfect sense to us. And actually when you are outside, you can quite easily spin the tap round because it goes all the way around, and you can fill drinks or whatever you want with that, so that's quite neat. I have this, the hob. They're so cheap, to be fair. It's just an induction hob. Cut a hole, drop it in, didn't sink it in, because I had no doubt that some people make it so it's really flush, which is fabulous if you want to take that chance, but this worktop's quite expensive, and I just thought I don't want to mess that up. I can't do that. So yeah, so that's what we did with that. Power for that 240 if we're on hookup, no problem at all. I bought a Bluetti that I can just plug that into, and things like the air fryer, and what else have we got? We got some other stuff that's kind of, you know, a bit like that. So that was the plan with that. Cupboards, I built all these cupboards. Kind of spoke to the people who would be sort of sleeping in this bed and said, what do you think? And they were like, no, it's great, there's plenty of room there. One of the things that we thought about was, a lot of vans you see, they have a double bed and then they have a drop down bed, and I just thought that felt really claustrophobic for kind of both people. Having had a motorhome that had a drop down bed, if I was in that, you sort of got about, I don't know, it felt like you had about 2 feet to move about in, and it felt really claustrophobic. So didn't want to do that. But the cupboards actually worked out quite nice. I don't know what's in here. We've literally just come back from Cornwall, so could be anything. But I chose these motorhome. They're quite nice, to be honest. They're only off Amazon. They're quite cheap. Chose those. They don't rattle at all. They've got these fabulous springs. I've seen is it Vanology who use them. I pinched your idea. I like that. But I made all the cupboards. Yeah, they're just very simple, but really effective. Painted them. Was going to have them sprayed, and I thought, you know what, I didn't think it needed it, and we're quite pleased. We haven't painted any of this yet. This stuff underneath we've not painted, but we're using it, which is obviously the idea, the reason you have it. So smoke alarm, of course you need that. Everyone needs smoke alarms and things. Smoke alarms, carbon monoxide. Heater, the heater, it's just one of the Max Speeding Rods ones. It's under this seat. I'll show you that in a bit. Max air fan, which I've got to be honest, I'm incredibly grateful for today. Ceiling wise, loads of different ideas around at the moment. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I really like the look of the roof lats, but I didn't know whether to do them or not do them, so I did the middle bit. And then I thought, you know what, I actually just like it with the middle. And the lights wise, well, we've got these ones obviously, but they're on a dimmer, so they work quite nice. And then I've got the ones on the Max fan and on the skylight, as you can see there. I've got this kitchen one here, which is just like that. And then because I had some cable left, and I just thought, why not? We did these as well, which actually, it was a bit like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? But at night, it's actually really nice. Works really well. So so that's that. I've got this Nomadic Art fridge, which I'm actually really pleased with. We didn't want a massive fridge, so we bought this one. Does brilliantly, keeps things cold as you would expect. Freezer section in it as well. Just works really nicely. Put it there rather than in a cupboard, because we wanted cupboard space in here. And it works. It works really well for us. So switches wise, I went with these because I just think they're really neat. I've had them in a few camper vans now. There's me. And then 240, well, obviously when we're on hookup, but add the USB chargers, because you can never have too many USB chargers. And even if you're USB-Cs these days, you can just buy an adapter that plugs into it, so that's fabulous. Also, I had these lights here, which I've got USBs in as well. These are great. I don't know where I got these from, but they're just so cool. They're like the blue light. You got this light, and then off, and then there's this little blue light, and at night it makes such a difference. And USB chargers as well, which means, you know, you can plug multiple things in there when you want to do it. So that's that. Two of those, one there, one there. As you can see, still painting, but it's a really, do you paint or do you go out and use the van that you've built to go out? That's the thing. That's a Max Skylight, are they called? I love that. I love it, and at night well, night and first thing in the morning, it lets loads of fresh air in, which is nice. And with the Max fan, kind of sucks it through in the way that you want, and that's perfect. Yeah, I can see the cobwebs as well. That's terrible. But no, it is great. And of course, it's got all the stuff that you need, and this from this side, and full blackout. and they do work really well. And I had the lights on it as well. If you're thinking, do I go with the lights, do I not go with the lights, I did for the difference, and I think it's worth it, you know, that's all. Max fan, of course we've got a max fan, because you have to have a max fan. Love that. We went away, we went to a festival, and we were supposed to be going in a tent, and I was like, no, let's take the van, you know, we've built it, let's take it. So we did, and having that on just really slow at night was absolutely gorgeous. So when everyone was moaning and grumpy and all the stuff that comes with being somewhere and being hot, it was amazing to have that on. It made such a difference. TV, the TV is just, I think we might have had that TV in the motorhome, and it's just like on a bracket that goes on the back of there, but it means that we can all watch it, and it works really well, so I quite like that. And now the bed. See, the bed was one of those things, what you do, because I've got two belted seats, a driver's belted seat, needed another seat, got one double bed, needed another bed. Now this, let me see if I can get this set up so that I can demonstrate for you. 1 second. Right, so here we go. This is how the bed works. All of this slides out, but it's not just, it's actually on heavy duty runners. And if you want to pull this out, you can pull it out all the way. That makes you a double bed. Right? And they're literally done. All we do when we're doing it with this, the kids then chuck a sleeping bag on there, we do it last thing at night, no problem at all. Works for us brilliantly. The beauty of it, like I said, if you want to take this one out, sling it in the front. I'll put it up there for now though. You can actually push that back in, and then you've just got like a big single bed, as you can see. At night when we're sort of lounging in the van, this is great, works really well. Solid, loads of room, lots of depth. Nice to have that back bit, doesn't get in the way, not obtrusive. I've got a table that pops up. So we have a table goes, slides in there. And then we have a top that slides on. Table. So now we have a table, and it works quite nicely. Just a table, so people are sat there, use the table. We sit here, use the table. Plenty of room, like I said. Might not work for everybody, but it works for us, and that's the important thing. Do what you need to do. It's off eBay, it's about, I don't know, 45 quid or something. Now let me take you through how we convert it to a seat. So here's what happens. This bit lifts out. This bit pops up. One belted seat. That's it. The boys actually argue about who's sitting in the back, because then when we're on the travels they can watch the telly, but it's quite comfortable. Bolted down, no problems. It's not, you know, restricted. It's quite comfortable. Seat belts in. It's past MOTs. Plates underneath the van, bolted through the floor. I bought it off the internet for about 150 quid, and it genuinely does everything that we want it to do, and it's been perfect. And the fact that you can go from the bed to a seat and then back down again. You only put it up really when you're driving or when you're moving about. So we just literally chuck the cushions on the bed. Sometimes we put them under the duvet just to stop them moving about if they're a bit tempted to, but it's exactly the same system. It's the same seat, works in the same way as they do in certain different motorhomes, from Swifts to Chaussons or whatever they're called, and it works really well. So that's why I went for it, because it's all crash tested and it's ideal, so it works. So that was how I got over it. And what we did, we put my little boy, when he's in it, I say little boy, he's 13, little drinks holder in there for him. So yeah, he's quite happy when we do that. And then when we take it down, I appreciate at the moment that we've just got stuff pretty much everywhere, but that one comes off, that one comes off. This is the cushions that came with it, which I'll swap because they're just the ones that came in the motorhome, and it's all like a, what do they call it, Bentley stitch faux leather, which I'm not really fussed about, but that's the thing. And it works quite well. Like I said, it's belted, it's got everything you need on it, and yeah, it works ideal. Not when you're doing it one-handed. So yeah, doddle. And then this side, well, this side lifts up. Here's the runners. So I don't know if you can, there you go. You see the runners there? So it's like heavy duty runners. But also this side will lift up. This side will lift up. Stays up. And in here, heater. It's where we actually keep the chemical toilet as well, just under there, out of the way. Works quite nice for us. That's what we wanted. Bit of storage, quite a lot of storage in there, to be perfectly honest. And we've had the heater on quite a lot when we've needed it, and it's, you know, works brilliantly. Always concerned with heaters that they're going to get too hot and cause issues. Controls are there, like I said, it's just a max speeding rods one. Quite nice though, oh, very nice in fact. Frame goes back in. Cushions go on. And that is it from where we were to seat once again. No time at all. Let me show you outside the van. This is one of the best things I bought. It's if you can see that, a lot of Boxers, Ducatos, relays, they have a problem with drips coming off this, running down, dripping onto worktops, and it's a bit of a pain. I saw this light on the internet, saw a couple of people had used it. It's just an LED light in like a drip channel, and it's fabulous in the summer if you're sitting out late. Just brilliant, works perfectly. So that's that. If anyone wants a link to it, just send me a comment and I'll send it over to you. Windows from the outside, they're so good, like they open out, you know, like a motorhome window does, but they look great, so slick. Of course, Rogue alloys. I love these wheels. These wheels with the Conforcer tyres, they're a little bit noisier, but they're not ridiculously noisy, and the difference they make as far as grip if you're camping is incredible. And they just, let's be honest, they look quite cool as well. So back of the van, here we go. Right, light first of all. I have got light switch. Light, very important. Then I've got electrics, fuse board there, Orion DC to DC, that's there, 240 charger for the battery, and then that is the solar that I've got. Works brilliantly. 100 amp hour lithium battery, just does everything we want and more. And that solar is incredible. I've got a 305 watt Victron solar panel on the roof. Just works fabulously. I wanted to try and keep the electrics quite tidy. I think I've achieved that. We've got this. I mentioned the Bluetti that we bought. Bluetti didn't give me this. I bought it, but we bought this, and I'm just going to put a 240 lead to under the sink, so that when we need to, if we're sort of out and about, I can plug it into this and power the hob, the air fryer, sandwich toaster, whatever we've got. And then when we're going out and about, I've got this 240, sorry, I've got a 12 volt that I've just installed here. And the other day I had that plugged into the Bluetti, charging this from that leisure battery, and the solar kept everything topped up really nicely, so quite pleased with that. The fridge, that's there. Now I left this open on purpose. I just made a box for it, obviously got all the gaps and everything the way they're supposed to be around it, but I put it in a box and I left this side open because this is where the fan is, and I wanted it to be able to keep cool. I've had them in campers before where they've had all the space around them that they're sort of supposed to have, but they still got a little warm. So so I wanted to do that. So that's just me, it's one of those things. I did use the what are these things called, Scorver beams. I use the Scorver beams, as so many people do. It's just easy, made life easy. That's the tank for the heater for the diesel. We filled that up. We had a week in Northumberland, and it was about here, and we used it every night, and it's gone down to here. And again, I've paid for this. It's not a freebie. I'm not plugging max speeding rods at all, but a lot of them now say they have a silent pump, and this is one of the silent pumps. Is it silent though, I hear you say? No, it's not really silent, but it's not intrusive at all, and we've had it on at night. It doesn't keep you awake or anything. I've got a bit of cabling to tidy up there, but for now that will do. And I just put this there to stop stuff sliding into pumps and filters and all that kind of thing. It's about where we're at. What else have I got? Reverse camera, put one of those on. And these nets, which I put, this is a bit of carpet I'd left. It's going to get swapped to black because, well, it's grey at the minute and nothing else is. And these nets, I ordered two. I have 4, but I ordered 2. I've actually got 8 because I didn't realise that one pack was 4 nets, so I bought lots anyway. So that's about it, I think. So much better. Reverse camera, this is the one that I bought. I did ask whether it was worth buying an expensive one, and I got a resounding not really. So I think this was about 80 quid or something, and honestly it's no better but certainly no worse than a lot of the very expensive ones, in my humble opinion, which usually counts for very little. And what I did with this, I didn't put it on the reverse lights, so I can actually put it on whenever I want, which is, I did it on a previous van and it was quite useful. It's one of those things, you don't need it, but I'm quite happy to turn the camera on when I'm reversing, which is simple, you just press a button on the screen. And but it means I can do that when we're driving forward, which might sound really weird, but sometimes people will be behind you and you want to see what they're doing and where they're going, and it made sense not to have to put it in reverse and frighten the life out of everybody. So I just wired it straight in. I didn't do it to the it's on the ignition, so it comes on with the ignition, but it means I didn't have to do it to the reverse lights. But it's just one of those things, as with everything, do what suits you. Anyway, look, that's pretty much, I appreciate it's probably been a bit of a whirlwind tour. Hope it all made sense. The bed works brilliant. I can't say enough. I'm thrilled to bits with the bed element of it, because that was the tricky bit. And the way we use the van, there are bits that we'll add to it, absolutely. 9 times out of 10, we're not wild camping. We have wild camped for like a night or a couple of nights. And like I said, we've got the chemical toilet, shower, and sort of, you know, we obviously kitchen sink, but bathroom really we found we never use. Now there will be people who are desperate, that's part of their build. If that's the case, then fabulous, make it part of your build. But yeah, we kind of knew what we wanted, knew how we wanted to do it, and vans are evolving. They're constantly evolving. You'll find that as you do yours if you're doing one. And they're never finished. You know, we want to put up another little shelf to put some bits and bobs on, and maybe a rack to put some knives on. But once you've got to that point, you can add as and when you want. That's the thing. But now we have all the bits in that we need, and I tell you what, when you want the van to be cool, it's nice and cool, and when you want the van to be warm, it's blooming warm. But anyway, once again, thank you so much. Any questions, put them in the comments below, and if you want links to any of the things that I've used on the van, I've got them all. I can put them in, you know, if you need anything. So yeah, thank you once again for watching. I did want it to be a build vlog, but it hasn't been. It's turned into more of a look what I've done vlog, but I hope it was worth it. Thank you. Subscribe if you haven't, and any comments, please do comment below, and any questions, I'll try and answer them for you. Thank you once again. Hope to see you soon.